sitting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Welcome to the first midweek predictions for the Premier League for the new season, and game week number 14 is right upon us. Now, I'm filming this Sunday night after all the games have done, so I can tell you Mr. Will's score, and Will got himself 22 points, which for a game week is quite decent. 22 points for Will.
Boys, if you want a discount on your energy, go and get my discount in the description. New Dan 10 at checkout. Peace.
And this week's guest is a returning guest, is Mr. Sam T. Welcome in, Sam, back onto the channel again now. We're going to start off on Wednesday night at 7:30, I think, is Ipswich versus Crystal Palace. Now, Ipswich played against Forest on the weekend and had a narrow loss by 1-0, and have a Crystal Palace played against Newcastle, and they got a draw at Selhurst Park, but it's at Ipswich this time. I'm going to say Ipswich to win it by 2-1. And Sam, what are you saying in this game?
Again, Dan, as always, for having me on your channel. Ipswich versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are near the bottom of the table, and they're not doing that well. And Ipswich are doing better than what I expected them to do. They're currently sitting 18th, so they're not quite. Oh, they are in the relegation zone. Palace they're 1 point above Palace, so I think this is going to be a 1-0 draw.
As you can tell, I'm a lot better now. So we're on the mend, chat. We're on the mend, boys. We're on the mend. And now we move to Leicester City versus West Ham. Now, this is Ruud van Nistelrooy's first game in proper charge. Well, in charge of Leicester. He didn't obviously take the Brentford game, but he was in the stand when they got battered for 1. No, yeah, they got absolutely battered by a Kevin Schade hat-trick, and a West Ham team who lost against Arsenal in a mental game as well. Absolutely mental football. That was 7 goals in the first half. Flipping Nick Arsenal. But I'm going to go Leicester. Then we got Leicester 0, West Ham 2. Can they bounce back? And Sam, what are you saying in this game?
The game is Leicester versus West Ham. I think West Ham are going to win 2-1.
Now we move to Everton versus Wolves, a game down the bottom of the Premier League. And Wolves, after 2 straight defeat, after 2 straight wins, lost against Bournemouth in again a crazy game. We'll talk about Bournemouth and their Justin Kluivert, not Patrick. One Kluivert, but to be fair, Patrick got there anyway. But we'll talk about the Bournemouth game. We'll talk about the Bournemouth craziness later. But in that game, I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw between Wolves and Everton. And Sam, what are you going for in this game?
This game is Everton versus Wolves. I think Everton's only going to win 1-0.
Now we move to Man City versus Nottingham Forest. This brings to the end of a one of mental games for Forest, but Forest, after being third, have had a bit of a reality check now, have been brought back down to earth by some teams, and they played against, obviously they beat Ipswich and Man City within the last 4 hours. Well, yes, have lost a 6th game. Oh, yes, you've heard that correctly. A 6th. No, it's technically 5 defeat. Technically, no, 6 games without a win, because they got a point against Feyenoord, which somehow which is, yeah. So 6 games without a win in all competitions for Man City that they can hopefully beat. They should be beating Forest. I'm gonna go Man City 3, Nottingham Forest 2. They may bottle it to City. That's what I'm going for 3-2. Just when I'm covered. But and Sam, what are you going for in this game?
Man City versus Nottingham Forest. Well, the way Man City are going right now, they haven't really been in form that well, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to say it, City fans, but I think Nottingham Forest are going to win 1-0.
And we move to Newcastle versus Liverpool, and 9 points clear of Liverpool at the summit of the Premier League. Newcastle were back to winning ways again after drawing against Palace. They found their form again. They beat West Ham. They're 4 points in 2 games for them now. No, hang on. Yeah, no, they lost West Ham. Sorry, they lost West Ham after that. Sorry, they were on 1 and then they lost West Ham. Sorry, my fault, boys. Sorry, my bad. And Liverpool are 9 points clear at the top. And look, invincible at the top of it. I'm gonna say in this game, Liverpool to win it by 3-1. And no, Sam, what are you saying in this game?
Also versus Liverpool. I think that will be a draw, and then that means that we'll get Newcastle back up to hopefully being a good team again. So I'm going to say 2-0.
Now we move to Southampton against Chelsea. As it stands, Chelsea joint third in the Premier League, level on points with Arsenal, and Southampton are rock bottom of the Premier League table and going nowhere. And I think in this game, I think that it will be a win for Chelsea of a 4-0 win to Chelsea. And Sam, what are you saying in this game?
Chelsea versus Southampton. We're going to go with Chelsea absolutely destroying them 4-1.
Now we move to a game that is a Wednesday. And all the games here, boys, are being shown live on Prime. Amazon Prime so this means it's a live reaction to Arsenal and Manchester United. Yes, we came off the back of a 4-0 win against Everton on some literally in the last 8 hours or so. Joshua Zirk with 2, Marcus Rashford with 2, and against an Arsenal team who, as we know, are very good. I want to say we'll win, but I don't think we will. It might change by the time we've seen a prediction, time you've seen the reaction video, you may know what happened. But I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw between Manchester United and Arsenal, and please be nice.
Arsenal versus Man United. We're going to go Arsenal 2, United 3.
This game, and they move to Aston Villa versus Brentford. Now, Aston Villa, as we know, are a very, very capable team when it comes to football. They did lose to Chelsea by 3-0. And Brentford obviously were good against Leicester. Kevin showed of a hat-trick, his first hat-trick for Brentford. And I'm going to say Aston Villa 2, Brentford 1, I think. And Sam, what are you saying in this game now?
Villa v Brentford. I think Aston Villa versus Brentford will be a win for Aston Villa, but not by much.
These two games here are being played on Thursday night, which is going to be at the Craven Cottage for Fulham versus Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, as we know, Brighton drew on Friday night to Southampton, and Fulham, as you know, got a point, a 10-man point against Spurs within the last couple of hours again. I say 5 minutes hours, but few tomorrow, but few a day, because you're seeing them on the Anfield on Sunday night at 9:10. So yeah, I'm gonna go Brentford 2, Fulham 0, and Sam, what are you saying in this game now?
Brighton versus Fulham. I think that will be a draw.
And we move to Bournemouth versus Tottenham as the last game of the game week. Now, Bournemouth and Justin Kluivert, he becomes the first player to score a hat-trick. Not just any old hat-trick, a first hat-trick from the penalty spot. He scored a hat-trick of penalties for the first time in a long while, and the first time in the Premier League. Yes, you've heard that right, in the Premier League. And Tottenham drew 1-0 to Fulham in the league just a few hours ago. Well, a day for you, but hours for me, like I said in the last clip. And I'm going to say Bournemouth 2, Spurs 2. And Sam, what are you saying in this game?
In Derby, Bournemouth versus Spurs. I think Bournemouth's going to win 1-0. But as again, Dan, thanks for having me on your channel. It's much appreciated anytime I'm on
this game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will bring game week number 14 to an end. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you lot on Wednesday night late, about 11:30ish, I think, for Manchester United versus Arsenal at the Amsterdam live reaction. If you haven't already gone and hit that subscribe button, I urge you, go and hit it. We have obliterated this year's goal already. It was 250. We're almost on 260, boys. Let's go and smash it, boys, and I'll see you lot on Wednesday. Goodbye.